You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real as Roland Martin Unfiltered. By going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com, you can make this possible. All right, folks, the Missouri Supreme Court has suspended the law licenses of 2 former St. Louis prosecutors for covering up a police beating of a handcuffed suspect in 2014. The court suspended Katherine Anne, Dierdorf and Ambry Schuessler. Dierdorf cannot apply for reinstatement for 3 years. Schuessler will be suspended for at least 2 years. The court's ruling cited the severity of Ms. Dierdorf's misconduct as a result of her dishonesty and instruction of others to conceal information about the incident and Schuessler's repeated dishonesty during an interference with the federal prosecution and the police detective in their decision. This, to me, Erica, is huge because these prosecutors who hide evidence, who withhold evidence, who say nothing, they need to be penalized. And what this means is they cannot practice law that goes to the heart of their pocketbooks.
Oh, absolutely. And when you start thinking about communities and then the families that have been impacted by their own biased thoughts, opinions, and judgment otherwise, then you start looking at the larger swath of the population that they've probably impacted. I think that this is definitely a shining example of some level of justice being served. And I also believe that this is another opportunity for everyone to look at, particularly as we start cycling to another election season. Who are these people that are in your particular municipalities? Who are district attorneys? Who are those individuals? And then look at what their indictments have been like and make the decision at the ballot if that's something that you want to continue to have to impact your life or something differently. So I think that this, again, is somewhat of a justice win, but it also is a call for us to look at local politics as well.
Eton, again, the only way to hold these cops and these prosecutors accountable for wrongdoing is to hit them in their pocketbooks, and that's what this decision does.
Definitely. I mean, nothing is going to change until you hold police accountable. I mean, we're still waiting to hear if Daniel Pantaleo, the policeman who choked Eric Garner to death, is even going to be fired. You know, not if he's going to go to jail or prison, but if he's just going to be fired from working with the NYPD anymore. I mean, these are the things that I would like to see Roger Goodell and Jay-Z kind of tackle in each city, because nothing will change. If you have a child and you tell that child that he can do anything he wants to and never get punished, what do you think that child's going to do? And that's pretty much what they've given all police officers. So all you have to say is, I was in fear for my life. That's it. You know what I mean? And you're going to be not guilty and maybe not even indicted. And we have to hold the way that we police right now is not effective and it's not morally correct. And, you know, to hear, you know, keep relating it to what we talked about earlier, to hear Jay-Z say that the time for kneeling is no more, I'm like, no, there's a lot of time for kneeling because there's a lot of injustice still happening. So that's a statement that he should have never made. But yes, we have to hold police officers accountable.
Joseph.
Well, I mean, the first thing that comes to mind in hearing about this story is, okay, that's great. They caught those 2. What about the ones we don't know about? Chicago had a secret dungeon where they were torturing people for years, and that never came to light, and the prosecutors were covering it up. New York City, Central Park 5, that prosecutor was only recently not exposed as having done some wrongdoing. So it requires vigilance, but it also is something that is endemic in the system. Prosecutors and cops work very closely together. It's in one's best interest to cover up for the other. So until the system is exposed for the injustices that it perpetrates on ordinary people and for the ones that don't get exposed, it's not going to change. And I think Eton's right. Kneeling is never, there's never not a good time to kneel. We should have been kneeling 20 years ago. We probably will be kneeling 20 years from now.
Well, bottom line is here. I'm glad to see these 2 who are being held accountable.
All right, folks, back to our Roland Martin Unfiltered video in just one moment.
All right, folks, you've heard me talk a lot about marijuanastock.org. Why? Because I want to keep you informed of investment opportunities that make sense. We've all watched the growth of the cannabis industry. A recent report by New Frontier Data estimates the global cannabis market at over $340 billion. Now, Now, we know that marijuana legalization is sweeping the country state by state. We also know that marijuana has a good cousin, the hemp plant, which with a much higher concentration of CBD. That means hemp gives you all the medical benefits of marijuana without getting you high. Now, until recently, hemp farming was practically illegal in the U.S. and heavily regulated by the DEA. However, the 2018 Farm Bill changed all of that, making it legal to grow hemp CBD in the U.S. and creating one of the largest commodities worldwide. They need land to grow all of the plants. And folks, is it rocket science? It's an incredible investment opportunity. And that's where our good friends at 420 Real Estate come in. Their business model is simple. They buy land that supports hemp CBD grow operations and lease it to licensed high-paying tenants. That's right, they are hemp CBD landlords, and you can get in on the action. The folks at 420 Real Estate decided to do something special for Roland Martin Unfiltered family. Originally, the minimum investment level was $500. Right now, you can invest in this crowdfunding campaign for as little as $200. That's right, $200 up to $10,000. Now, let me recap. This is a $340 billion worldwide industry, and it's growing. You can participate with as little as $200. To invest, go to marijuanastock.org. That's marijuanastock.org. Get in the game and get in the game now.
Now back to your Roland Martin Unfiltered video.